Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here on Northern Life. We have Briggs LaSavage. I'm Ryan Half. Appreciate you joining us. So every time we start this show, usually one of us has a story that happened to us in the past 24 hours or so. Something to kick off the show, right? And I had nothing to start the show. I knew I was going to be talking first. However, I was getting out of my car. We record this on Tuesday. And Tuesday, remember, super windy day.
It was
windy. Sunny.
Yeah, I haven't been outside much today.
The wind was really blowing down here at Canal Park, and I had this, nicely cleaned white dress shirt for the 4 p.m. show.
Oh, no.
And it's in the back of my car, and I go, okay, well, it's really windy. Let's just be careful. I open the back door of my car, and you know how it's in a hanger. It's hanging on that little thing you pull down, and my shirt came off the hanger, went into the sky like a kite, and went like 25 feet into the snowbank, which happened to have dirt on it. And so I had to go walk and grab it. And it was a sight to be. I wish there was video of that incident, because that thing just took off flying.
And what did it look like when you picked it up? Dirty?
Fortunately, there's dirt on the back of it, but I can still wear it because there's only a little bit of dirt on the collar. So I took it over to our sink and put some cold water on it. Sadly, didn't have any, Tide to Go or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be usable for the 4 p.m. broadcast.
Good. TV magic. That's the best part. Whatever's going on behind you, viewers at home don't need to know.
They don't need to know.
Yeah, that's why, when we do our hair for the show, it doesn't matter what you do at the back of it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
You can just leave it be, and no one will ever know.
I'm very thankful it didn't end up in the road or on someone's windshield and cause more problems. So
true.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay for now. So yesterday Briggs here was talking about the Hermantown Girl Scouts who stopped by our news station for a tour. Hey, good news, Girl Scout cookie season is in full swing. And for one 6-year-old in Pennsylvania, she is absolutely crushing records. So Pim Neal here has sold apparently more than 100,000 boxes. I wrote 75,000 in the lower third you're about to see, but it's already gone to over 100,000, the most ever in the state. And her dad, says Pim, who has multiple disabilities, faced rejection, sadly, from some troops before finding the right fit near Pittsburgh. And then actually a TikTok video changed everything, helping her sell 20,000 boxes in a single day. And her family says the experience is about more than cookies. It is about confidence, hard work, and creating joy.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing. Way to go, Pim.
Yeah.
Proud of you out there. I am so happy that it's Girl Scout cookie season. I have to restock on Thin Mints.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Girl Scout cookie, but there were so many good ones, and I'm sure Pim was just putting them out there into the world. Marketing genius, that Pim.
Yeah, proud on her, and probably some proud parents too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, coming up on today's show, we're bringing you some entertaining news stories from our archives here at Northern News Now. Our awesome coworker Ryan Skorich continues to uncover some old pieces, including a snowstorm on the South Shore, skiing in Biwabik, and coverage of the Special Olympics back from 1986 as well. So cool that he spends his time going through these archives, because it uncovers some awesome stories that we haven't seen in a really long time.
I know, it's kind of funny too. It's like, oh, another snowstorm's coming, what we're dealing with this week. And it's like, well, we're no stranger to it. So let's see how people were feeling way back when. Well, let's head down to Iowa now, where a couple had wedding plans which were turned upside down. However, it still ended with a trip down the aisle.
Good.
Alexis and Rayanne Webb were set to marry at a courthouse. However, the judge did not show. So with no backup available that day, Alexis's dad called a family friend who happened to be a funeral home director who was also ordained. So minutes later, that ceremony moved to a funeral home chapel. And 30 minutes after that first call, they were married, surrounded by their family. The couple says what started as a disappointment turned into a day they will never forget.
Yeah, I'm sure the funeral home suggestion probably brought the vibes down a little bit at first, but good thing that they had such a close friend who was willing to drop everything and, come out and do that. I'm sure the judge probably, after looking at their schedule, was like, ooh, I missed something very important.
Based on how our newsroom operates, I'm sure the reporter down there in Iowa reached out to that judge for comment and probably said, I won't talk to you right now.
Yikes. Well, glad they could make it happen anyway. Well, just like mail carriers, newspaper delivery drivers can become part of the family, and that's true in Bismarck, North Dakota, where 85-year-old Joe McKenzie is retiring after 20 years on his route. He started at 65 working that job, looking for a little extra money and exercise, but ended up finding something more. Along the way, Joe built lasting friendships with neighbors who counted on him through rain, snow, and ice as well. Now Joe says he's just ready to sleep in. I hear you, Joe. That sounds really nice. And maybe finally let someone else bring him the morning paper for once, too. So that is really cool that he's been on that same route for so long. I love when people have close relationships with their mail carriers. I don't happen to know mine because I'm never there when he drops off the mail, but I see him on the Ring camera. I wish I could wave and be like, hi.
Yeah. Oh, man. But I mean, probably got a lot of advice for the next person who decides to deliver the morning paper in that area. And also, we're talking about snow earlier. That Bismarck, North Dakota driving could not have been easy for those 20 years.
No, I imagine not. I think being a mail carrier would be such a fun job, but I don't know if I could have the stomach to do it in the winter. I'd be like, I'm going to sit in the car.
Seasonal worker on the nice seasons. Well, Briggs, I'm sure you've experienced this. Your kid begins to, gets older, starts outgrowing the clothes they have. However, one company might have the solution. A London-based group is led by a former aeronautical engineer, and the startup is using deployable structures inspired by satellite technology to create clothes that expand as children grow. So as you can see, go from 4 months all the way to about 36 months, 3 years. So, I mean, it's a pretty good idea. You got to buy a lot of clothes. You got to probably gather it in a bucket and see if anybody else wants the young kids' clothes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. The fabric looks a little strange, like for those pants. But if it could save you a lot of money, which it would, think it would be a great idea.
We need that for Thanksgiving or something.
Right? I know. Wells grows out of his clothes. He wears them like one time, and then I put it on him like the next week, and he's already looks like shoved into it. And I'm like, oh, sorry, buddy.
That's probably so sad, too, when you're like, this is such a cute piece of clothing, but he's only able to wear it a handful of times due to growing so big.
Sometimes you need to get it in multiple sizes so he can at least wear it a few times.
Get the future 4-year-old some clothes similar. Well, hey, coming up, snow from years past. We are going back decades. Stick around. We'll be back here on Northern Live.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, we are, of course, no stranger to snow here in the Northland, as evidenced by the last day. And the scenes we see today aren't much different from decades ago either.
Our evening director, Ryan Skorich, found this story from 1996, where our reporter, Maureen Tallarico, covered a snowstorm on the South Shore.
On Wisconsin's South Shore, waves crashed into the frozen land in the first major storm of the year. On land, slick roads with blowing snow made driving almost impossible.
Well, there's snow covered and icy, and it does not good to apply no chloride because it don't work when the wind is blowing like this. It just sticks on it and makes it all the worse.
In Port Wing, lots of snow added to the festive holiday spirit. Blizzards like this are miserable for most people, but for kids at this school, it's a day of fun.
I think I'm just going to go sledding, and hopefully I don't go in the ditch on the way home.
At South Shore schools, classes were let out at noon.
All of our students are basically either coming in on the school buses or they are driving, and the back roads can be pretty treacherous around here. And
the conditions were terrible. I was all over the road. I was going like this. I was almost in the ditch like several times.
We ended up there, but one good thing we can say about this storm, the bad weather brings out the good in people, especially those who help you out. On the South Shore, Maureen Tallarico, Channel 6 News.
Ryan pointed out the funny piece. Of course, in 1996, they were probably still going to school in storms like that. I feel like that would be different today.
It would probably be different today. They were walking uphill, both ways to school too. So it was kind of fun seeing the old styles too.
The hair.
Nice.
Very
looking
fun.
Good.
Well, let's get to another one now. When the snow flies, us Northlanders enjoy some outdoor recreation. John Schottel takes us skiing in Biwabik back in 1986.
No matter how you look at it, the Giants Ridge ski area near Biwabik, Minnesota is becoming a premier place in the international world of Nordic skiing.
Last year, after the World Cup, in December, one of the European coaches told me he thought this was really one of the top 4 places in the world to ski for World Cup racing, and I think that makes us very pleased.
But this event means more than good Nordic skiing. It translates directly into dollars and cents. Today's Pepsi Challenge Cup race, coupled with 2 consecutive years of the World Cup race, have been packing tourists and their dollars into the towns of Biwabik and Aurora.
After the World Cup, that 4 or 5 days of exposure which we received throughout the United States, our cross-country ski visitation went up 197%. Our claim to fame is going to be the Nordic skiing. We have a tradition of Nordic skiing in Minnesota, We have the terrain for it. We have early snow. It stays late. And with that programming in the Nordic section of Giants Ridge, we hope to put Giants Ridge on the map and northeastern Minnesota on the map.
Economic developers say skiing will never wholly replace mining on Minnesota's Iron Range. But in the next 10 years, it may come in a strong second, and it already has people looking up.
It's a moral uplift for a lot of people in this area, where before, we were having troubles with the mines closing and people getting laid off. And at least for this end of the range, it's offered some hope to a lot of people to say, we have some future, and if we keep continuing to develop, it's going to help us.
Good job, Ilke. He has got to be one of the top citizen racers.
John Schottel, Channel 3 News.
Oh man, Briggs during the story there was talking about it has to be so interesting and a lot more difficult to gather that story in the cold and then bring it all the way back here to Duluth and then put it in the tape room and then get it all figured out.
I would love to experience just a day of that, because now we can edit in the field and we can bring our little backpack that helps us go live instead of a big huge truck. So yeah, good on them.
Take video on your phone, send it back.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, hey, apparently that same year, Lisa Molaski with KDLH, that is, met a pack of kids competing in a Special Olympics skiing event.
It was a day these athletes from all across Minnesota will remember for years to come. And for most, the memories won't center around whether or not they got a gold medal. They'll remember it as a day of sunshine and good fun.
It's probably the highlight of the life for most of these youngsters to get to do this. Gives them a chance to really achieve and compete at a level that's appropriate for their abilities. And there aren't many sources for them to do that. So this provides a need like nothing else. It's really hard to compare it to anything else.
Since I was little, I wanted to always take up skiing after my cousin.
I like to meet new people and all that stuff.
The 8th annual Special Olympic Winter Games included slalom and Nordic skiing and figure and speed skating. 80 athletes took part in the alpine competition. The skiers were divided into 4 ability levels: beginners, novice, intermediate, and advanced. Groups of 10 skiers in each category competed against each other.
They're much better skiers than they were 3 years ago, and that's due largely to the credit of the training programs around the state.
Everyone didn't go home wearing a medal today, but all agreed it was a rewarding day, medal or not. At Quadna Mountain, this is Lisa Molaski, Channel 3 News.
Another awesome story.
Yeah, big thanks to our evening director Ryan Skorich, who has been finding these things. I've been going over my phone videos with my fiance Mary from I don't know, 8 years ago, and I go, wow, that was a long time ago.
Right.
But to have these videos that are from the 80s and 90s, really special to bring those back and just see, where we've come as a Northland.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, hey, coming up, does it work? Rachel Hackbarth has a product for all of our snowfall when we return. Welcome back, everybody. If you're like me, you love a good cooking show involving the great chef Gordon Ramsay. Well, it sounds like there is a new documentary out now today about the famous culinary personality, a new 6-part documentary showing his relationship with his family and food, as well as the financial strain of his restaurant expansions. In addition to the new docuseries, Ramsay was recently awarded a new Michelin star as well.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
That new docuseries too, out today. You can find it on Netflix.
Yeah. Does he have any videos in there to teach me how to cook like him? Because that would be nice. That would be nice.
I love probably my favorite one. I'm not a huge fan of, I don't watch the HE double hockey stick kitchen. You know
Yeah.
I probably could say it on here, but I'm a big fan of the Kitchen Nightmares show, the old Kitchen Nightmares from the early 2000s. Just seeing how he flips those restaurants around.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
He takes really bad, struggling restaurants and makes them a lot better.
Kind of like Bar Rescue.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
I'm familiar with that one. Yeah, cooking shows I love. Any competitive cooking show too is my absolute favorite. When I first saw the story in there, before I actually read it, I thought it was a documentary about our sheriff, Gordon Ramsay, because Ryan labeled it Gordon Ramsay doc, and I was like, oh wow, that could be interesting too.
Sheriff Ramsay, I'm sure you're a busy man, but if you want to come into the show and do some cooking, we'd be happy to have you.
Well, with the snow we're getting this week, it's important to have the best brush and scraper possible in your car.
Yeah, let's check out a sweet new option with Rachel Hackbarth for today's Does It Work?
Andy McFadden doesn't mind the cold weather, but he does mind when the snow gets all over his car. He's trying out the $24.95 Automotive Snow Broom Snow Remover Brush. The makers claim this acts as a push broom for your vehicle, removing snow without leaving any scratches or damage behind.
I usually do my auto start on my car, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. If it's really icy or the snow is really thick, that doesn't always work. So I'm out here with one of those universal where it's a snow scraper on one side and you have the brush on the other.
The snow broom claims to even remove that heavy snow Andy mentions. All you have to do is snap this together.
Okay, all right, cool.
What do you think so far?
It's lightweight. I think that it's lightweight. It's pretty compact. I'm assuming these notches come off and then I can just throw it in the trunk of my car.
This is what Andy's car currently looks like.
And so this seems like it'd be safe, like it would not damage your paint on your car. It's very soft and it's not like aggressively like hard. Okay, let's try it. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start over there.
Is it moving it pretty easily?
It's moving it pretty easy. It like slides to the glass pretty easily. It's kind of like a squeegee. I'm not worried about it damaging my car.
Andy's car is practically snow-free, and it's not messing up his windshield or paint, just as advertised. He thinks the snow broom works.
Well, I would invest in this. I think that for the price point, it's worth the investment in it. If we had, 5 or 6 inches of snow, and it came off really easy.
For Does It Work? I'm Rachel Hackbarth.
I mean, it'd be kind of nice to have,
Yeah.
especially you don't have to reach over. I feel like that's
Yes.
kind of the tough thing.
I know. We talked about it a little yesterday as we were teasing this story, but I hate trying to reach across when you're like not the tallest person, and then it's just a thing. So having a long handle and that kind of squeegee looking thing could be good.
Could be nice.
Yeah. Well, in the travel industry, more women are packing their bags and traveling solo. A new report from Grandview Research finds women make up more than 2/3 of solo travelers worldwide. A market that generated $262 million last year and could bring in nearly $600 million by 2030. So kind of cool solo trip, you know, you got to be willing to brave it on your own, but it's an empowering thing, I'd say.
Yeah, you can learn more about yourself too in the process.
We'll be right back. Well, when we see you again here tomorrow on Northern Life, today's science continues to amaze us. We're going to be meeting a family who has benefited from that firsthand. Minnesota doctors complete their first partial heart transplant on an infant, a partial heart transplant.
Yeah.
On such a little guy.
That'd be
amazing.
so difficult, man. You know, I think even a normal person, I'm not a surgeon or a doctor or anything, but you know, that'd be a lot. But to have to operate on someone so small and tiny, it definitely takes a expert.
Incredible. Yeah, it is American Heart Month, too. So a good time to be sharing that positive story there. Awesome.
Well, hey, before we go, this is big news for Briggs here. You know, you're talking about Girl Scout cookies beforehand. Thin Mints and Frosty fans, this one's for you. Wendy's is bringing back its Thin Mint Frosty Swirl, and they're introducing a new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. The treats, made in partnership with Girl Scouts of the USA, blending classic vanilla or chocolate Frosties with minty cookie crumbles and crushed Thin Mints. And they are available nationwide for a limited time. Also, during National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend, which it sounds like is coming up, February 20th through the 22nd, some locations even hosting some Girl Scout cookie booths.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded a little bit like a blizzard.
Yeah,
or maybe a custard thing from Culver's.
But
it sounds going to be very good.
Delicious nonetheless.
Thanks for joining us. We love you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a happy Wednesday.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.